Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing very well. I'm gonna talk a little bit about some things that I've been seeing recently that have been making huge impacts in dog training and the relationship building that I've been seeing. And that is, drumroll please, is definitely the understanding of giving a dog a break and commanding a dog to have a break. So having some sort of verbiage or some sort of verbal cue to tell the dog that they can do what they want. Especially when you are out working with your dog on an everyday basis and you are working on behavioral work, competitive obedience, ring sports stuff. It's crucial that the dog can distinguish the difference between, okay, I'm working, okay, and now I can do whatever I want and be a dog. Now, to some variation, some dogs will definitely take things a little bit more seriously than what I'm talking about. And I don't want you guys to think that if you have a dog and you're working on basic obedience, that it's crucial that your dog runs away from you when you say break. However, I think it's an important thing that we don't implement enough. And by that, your relationship will get better when the dog, or even anything that you're in control of, that you potentially are going to tell you have to turn on and work and pay attention and engage and really focus. I think it's also important to be able to disengage with the dog on cue, which means that the dog specifically knows exactly when they go, okay, I'm done. I think I'm done. No, when I tell my dogs to break, they're like, see ya, I'm out of here. And they know specifically that I'm not going to ask them to do something until I then give them another command. And it's not a military thing. It's not a high obedience thing. I just find a lot of times when working with the pet owners at my facility and to all the dog owners out there that are trying to break down doors and create new thresholds of getting better. And then anybody who is also a dog trainer working on all sorts of different stuff with their clients. One of the two things besides understanding your dog that I introduce to puppies and board and trained dogs and just new clients in general is leash pressure and basically how to disengage with leash pressure. Because I think it creates a really nice start to your relationship of work and play. Now, on an everyday basis, we go out and we have similar concepts to the way that we live our lives, such as coffee breaks, recess, breaks in general, all these different breaks, whether it's a week long or a half an hour long, it doesn't matter, but there's got to be some sort of off switch in order for things to rejuvenate. And that could be 30 seconds in a dog training session. It could be until the next day, until your dog training session. But I've been finding a lot of differences in a lot of progressional concepts going forward with the dogs that I've been working with their clients, with their owners, because they get into what I call a fix-it mode, where they come in with an issue, they know there's an issue, they know that they're doing something wrong, and they're just fix, and then hopefully they remember to retain some of that operant conditioning of, yeah, fix, but also reward. But there's also got to be something else, I believe, especially when you're doing like behavioral work or like really building out those thresholds of competitive obedience is break, do whatever you want. And a lot of people actually do have these breaks, intentional, which means the owners are like, yeah, they're on their break. But if the dog doesn't know that they're on their break, then that break area becomes very gray. But then it also is transparent to, are we working and are we playing, when you actually do try to engage them into a heel or a down or whatever it is. Meaning, make it really clear when you want your dog to work, have a command for it. When you want your dog to not work and be a dog, also have a command for it. I find that it's just groundbreaking in early on stages of foundational relationship stuff, because the dog goes, okay, I'm here to work because you said heel, or I'm here to work because you said come, or you said my name, and now I'm right here and I'm ready to go. But then also, okay, break, and the dog goes, okay, see ya. It doesn't mean I'm gonna run away, but it means I'm gonna disengage. And I find that in working with behavioral cases, it's really groundbreaking as well, because it's an icebreaker, because the dog hears all this Fido sit, Fido heel, leave it, stop, or just completely ignoring the dog, and then you offer a break, and the dog's like, whoa, what's that? You know, you're animated a little bit. And so anyway, so that's something that I just wanted to put out there for you guys, that if you create a break command for your dog, and I'm going to show you a couple clips after this little vlog-ish type video of how to break your dog, how to introduce it, how to utilize it. But I think it's important because one of the other things that I see a lot frequently is dog owners will go out and they'll come into the facility and they'll say, oh, yeah, things are okay or whatever, and they're not great. And I want it to be great every time. And it's because they're being too hard on themselves. They don't know how to disengage with their dog, which means their dogs are going to make more mistakes because the dog doesn't know how to shut off and the owner doesn't know how to shut it off either. So we build up this huge obedient dog, and the dog's doing all these things, but they don't know how to properly shut the system down on a command. And it's just as easy as teaching the dog how to do the commands as it is to tell them how to turn it off. And it really strengthens and it really bonds your relationship because it's super crystal clear. And I believe in any dog training, whether it's protection, ring sport, obedience, therapy, service, any type of dog training is really just training for something, training for the real world, training for the test, training for what if, right? And if we have a clear line of communication, things are really, really going to go as smoothly as possible. So anyway, having a break command or a free command into any dog training that you're doing, especially at the foundation, is really, really helpful to develop a clear relationship in the future. And I think that it's something that a lot of people don't utilize, and or I'm hoping that a lot of people don't even think about. So I hope that this brings something to the mind like, hey, maybe I should start using the break command in some of these behavioral cases where things get so tense and so tight and we don't really know what's going to happen, and we're going to go break and we're going to break everything down and rejuvenate and then build it back up. And then same thing with all the other types of obedience. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on teaching a dog the importance of breaking and freeing the dog's mind space up so they can disengage, rejuvenate, recharge the batteries, and be right back, whether it's 30 seconds or an hour or whatever. So anyway, guys, hope this video helps, and I'm going to post some videos below attached to this video so you guys can see me utilizing the break command and how awesome it can be. So instead of recalling him to me, I'm just going to use the B word so he can do his thing.
Good.
Yeah.
Seamus, break! Good boy! See ya!
Good. Good girl. Good. Then you go behind me. Good. So we're going to reward him with the break instead of food. Seamus, break! Good boy! And so the break command is really, really great for behavioral stuff like you saw in the last scene with Seamus, one of the dogs that we worked on dog reactivity with. So the dog was given a break after they've accomplished the goal, which was non-reactivity towards the other dog. So it makes it really clear when the off switch is there instead of just giving the dog food and then walking away. So having that command is not something that you have to do, but it's just something that if you haven't done yet, it's just really, really beneficial in all aspects of dog training. So with Lakota, I'll show you how the break command also helps a lot in obedience and in threshold building of building obediences to new levels and breaking down new doors and things like that. Left. Good. Yep. So I'm going to throw the toy out, and I'm going to build the drive, and I'm going to build the behavior through the anticipation of releasing her to the toy. So you can say YES as a release, but having the break command is just something that I universally will use, because if you say yes, that generally, touch. If you say yes, that generally will release the dog to whatever they want. But if you're doing a break command, it'll release the dog on all aspects. So when you do a down stay or a down, whatever you use for implied downs or whatever it may be, the YES typically for me in marking situations means that the dog can have what they want. But if we're doing obedience, the dog is in a down stay and there's no objects or food that they want to go after. And so if I use the break command, they can just go. So it's just a universal command to use. And I'm going to show you how I do that a little bit with her really quick. So I build that anticipation. She actually drives harder for it. Good. Good. Break. So you can break her to the object or to the food if you're working with food drives. Out. Good. So then I release the object, and this is something that, say this was a dog just working on obedience, and they knew the break command. Platz, coucher. So I can do my thing, do whatever I want. There's no objects present, and say she was a dog that was just working on a down stay, but she knew the break command really clearly, which in a separate video I can teach you guys how to introduce the break and how to do it. Break! Good. So now she's free to go and do whatever she wants, and she's going to go find whatever she wants. So it really helps in overall. it really helps in overall obedience. So anyway, I just wanted to make this video for you guys just to show you something else to add to your toolbox and what benefits it can create. And then in a separate video, if you guys are interested, I can certainly teach you guys how to introduce the break command as well.